Hello and welcome to this Xcoroll presentation. Xcoroll is a text editor that has been developed in the mid-80s. It's a freeware, GPL licensed, available on Unix, Linux and macOS. Let's have a look at what we get in the latest release in this directory, ls. Plenty of C file and header files because it's a C project. It has been developed in C and mainly intended to develop in C and C++. It has been developed by C++ developers. You can see here this configure file because it's built in the traditional way: configure, then make, and make install under root. You can also notice these two directories, smack and smaclib. Smack is an internal C interpreter allowing to extend the features of the editor and the power of the editor, and smaclib, ls smaclib, is a series of functions, ready-made functions that have been developed using this interpreter, smack, and that they allow you to color, for instance, or indent in different languages when you develop with them. So let's have a look now at the editor itself. Xcoroll ampersand. It's a multi-windows editor, which means that if you edit several files, you will open several windows. It's based on X11. It has its own set of widgets. It doesn't rely on any external widget library such as Qt, GTK+, or Motif. We can open a file. Let's open any file from the project itself. We can make it a bit bigger. You can scroll with the scroll bar on the right. You can also scroll with the little arrows at the bottom or up. You can go back to the top of the file or down to the last line. You can see at the bottom left a little green star, and on the right of this green star you have the name of the file. This green star means that the file in the text area buffer, in memory if you wish, is exactly the same as the one on disk. It has not been modified. If we enter anything, even just a space here, the little green star becomes a red star, meaning that the file, if you want to keep this modification, has to be written to the disk. Of course, you have also an unlimited undo, Ctrl U, you go back to the green star, and unlimited redo with Ctrl T. All these key association, of course, can be accessed through the menu. At the top of this window, you can see the classic menu of any software, any editor especially. In Windows, we have two specific interesting options. First, the last one, the manual window. Open the browser with three sub-windows. You can scroll in any of the window, and you can also access directly any chapter that you find interesting. This manual is quite good and explain you all the details and features of the this editor. So I will close it. Now you can see also edit mod. You can see in mod that you can develop in different languages. You can also create a new one if you wish using SMAC, but these are already developed and ready to be used. C and C++ were initially the main use of the editor, and we will see why, but all these other languages are also usable. JavaScript is one of the latest. If we go back to window, I was mentioning another window, the browser window, and that's where we understand why this editor has been developed mainly for C and C++ at the beginning. Because if we add the current directory, which is the software itself, you can see why it's interesting. You have all the functions, all the files, of course, the .h and .c files, and you can access directly a function that is shown in the visit window. You can scroll, of course. So it breaks the traditional way of opening each file in different windows. You can navigate through the browser, and it's of course even more impressive with a C++ project, because you can see all the classes, the methods, the attributes, and the parents and children of each class. Let's close this browser. You can still see in the directory smaclib this .xcorolrc node, xcorolrc.lf, which is installed the first time that you start the editor as a .xcorolrc in your home directory, and that's where you can customize a little the editor to suit your preferences, the color, the indentation, by editing it and changing a few things in it. Let's now try different other tests. Let's open another window, and we can, for instance, go to MISC and HTML command. We will start a new HTML document. Let's give it a name, mydoc.html. You can see that it automatically opens a skeleton of a classic HTML file with the header and the body part. We can do another little test or little example by opening another window. We go back to MISC and we go to MISC command. We create a title this time. We can give it a name, my file.c, for instance, and it opens the title for a C file with // and /* at the end of the command. You can see at the top that the file name and path name have not been filled yet. The description is up to you. This is an example, and at the bottom left, of course, you have a red star because it's a new file and the file has not been saved yet. Let's save the file. Write file as /tmp /myfile.c. Okay, now it's green. But we want to update this file name and path name. So we go back to MISC commands, and we double click on update file and save, update title, sorry, and save file. You can see now that the file name is just there. The path name has also been filled correctly, and the creation name, the creation time and date has not been changed because it has been written when we created the title, but the modified date and time, date has not changed, but time is just now because we have updated the file. It's interesting if you are several working on the same project to know who has modified the time and when the last time, and who was the author as well of the file. So we can close this file, close this one. We say no, we don't want to save it. I can give you another example, maybe a last one for this short presentation. I go to this console, and I have prepared a little file called call1, xcorall call1. You see a text file with 3 columns. What I want to show you is the use of a macro. It's very powerful, and it's a feature that I don't find in all editors, and it's especially powerful in this one, and very convenient. I use it quite a lot. Imagine that you want to insert another column between the second and the third column. You have different ways, of course, I know, especially with Unix, to do that, but with this editor, something you can do is learning a macro, play the macro to insert this third column. So Control X, opening parenthesis, it's learning the macro, so from now on all the commands that I will enter will be memorized by the macro. And at some point we will inform the editor that we have finished learning the macro. We will tell him that it's done. So we want to go to this column, enter a new column with ABC and a space, then we do Control A to go back to the beginning of the line, and we go to the next line. We are happy with that. We have enough commands in the macro. So now we do Control X, closing parenthesis, and you can see at the bottom end macro. If now we want to play the macro, we just have to do Control C, and it will automatically run all the commands that are in the macro. Control C, and we can even play the macro several times with Escape 3, for instance, and Control C will play it 3 times. So this is another example. We could go on and on. What I suggest to you is now to download the freeware, the software, which is free, and play with it. You can, as we saw, read the manual and enjoy it. Thank you for watching.